Hey guys, what's going on? Nick Kellar, Greg Brock, Atlas Premier Realty, coming to you with another video blog. We wanted to touch on in the beginning stages of 2021, everybody's hearing about how tight the market is, inventory short. It's a great time to sell. It's actually, in a weird paradox, it's a great time to buy too because of interest rates and affordability. Home prices are expected to rise by 8%, or home values are expected to rise this year by 8% or more this year, which is crazy. But you have something to sell, but where do you go? Because you have to eventually deal with the conditions that everybody's in right now. So we wanted to touch on how you could do that. Sell your house, take advantage of a great market, but not get caught with your pants down, right? So
without a house.
Right.
I would say it's a huge fear that I'm hearing from all of my sellers is whether or not they're going to be able to find the house that they choose. And if there was houses that they could buy, they'd probably have their house on the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real challenge right now. And I just read that in December, it was the lowest inventory in history.
Wow.
Nationally. So that's why we're in the situation that we're in. So
step one.
Prepare earlier. So if you're thinking of getting into the market this year, you absolutely need to have that conversation sooner than later so that you can lay out expectations and have a plan for your house and positioning it in the marketplace, but also have a plan for where you're going.
Right.
And just work out what your options might be.
So in that plan, you're going to talk about how in one part of the transaction, you're going to be not in the driver's seat, and that's on the buyer side. And then you are in the driver's seat on the seller side. And the way that you have to mitigate this difference is, first of all, we have to figure out a way so that you're not contingent on the sale of your property.
Yeah, you can't go contingent in this market.
It absolutely will go to the bottom of the list when there's multiple offers involved. So the first way that we can possibly get rid of that contingency is to put your house on the market and then negotiate, because you are in the driver's seat, to have a rent back until you find the home of choice. And because it's such a competitive market, what are the buyers doing?
They're sometimes free. They'll let you stay in the house free.
Yeah. They don't care as long as they get that house and they lock it in. They'll give you as much time as you absolutely need.
Yeah, you're in the driver's seat. That's not always going to work. It depends on the buyer's situation, and you can't stay there typically forever.
Right.
But it is an option. The next one is to consider new construction. So the one good thing, well, there's a lot of good things with this market, but another good thing with it is that new build confidence is at an all-time high too. So they're expecting this year new construction starts to be at an all-time high.
Right.
So you'll see more and more new construction opportunities. It might be time to look into that. Now those prices are going to be inflated too, but again, you're going to get to take advantage of historic interest rates, so affordability will be better. Your dollar will stretch further.
So there's all kinds of ways to do new construction as well. So if you're just thinking about new construction, communities, and all the big builders around here, there's other options. Get creative. So the next step that people usually do is to go look at lots that are for sale. They're actually pretty scarce right now too because of the new construction boom that is happening. So what I personally have done, and we'll be doing a video series on, is I found a house that really needed to be torn down.
Yep.
And incurred that cost up front, and I'll explain how much those costs can range from in that video series, but overall it's not that awful to tear down an old house and then build the house of your dreams. So really the one thing that you have to try to find in that scenario is a property that meets your needs, the acreage, the location, etc. It's time to get creative in this market because otherwise it's going to be really hard to be successful.
Yeah, and you took yours to an extreme, right? You're tearing that down, but that kind of feeds into the last option, which is while everybody's zigging and looking for the nicest house and jumping on the next available piece of inventory, maybe look at what's been on the market and hasn't sold. Maybe it isn't necessarily a tear down,
right?
But maybe it fits your needs, location, space, maybe overall layout, but it's just a diamond in the rough, needs some work, and maybe look into possibly renovating it if you can get it at the right price.
So in that scenario, talk to your real estate agent, have them maybe look at a lower price bracket, save yourself some money on the purchase and acquisition, so then you have a bunch of money to be able to add an addition or do a full renovation.
So definitely a challenging market, but it can be done. We're doing it every day. So if you have any questions of how that might relate to you or someone you know, please don't hesitate to reach out. We can come up with a plan, but can't stress enough, start that process earlier because we're going to have some patience. We're going to have to put together that plan so that you're not stuck without a house. So if you have any questions, let us know. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot.